Oh, Krampus, we meet again. It's that time of year, not where we wait for Saint Nick, but when all of these awesome Krampus festivals happen all over the world. Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. You know, I've talked about Krampus before, and I know that like I like weird stuff, obviously, you know, like I'm into the paranormal, but there's just something about the legend and story of Krampus that I like really enjoy. And I know that sounds oddly strange, but you know, I did like this really cool kind of fireplace storytelling last year. And I can't really do that again. You know, we've done it once. So if you haven't seen that, I'm going to try to link it below in the comments for a throwback to Krampus. But this year, I just thought, you know what, let's go through kind of like a fun Krampus fact sheet and talk about all of these festivals where Krampus is the highlight, not Saint Nick. If you didn't notice, I'm holding my really pretty rose quartz wand. I don't know, I just felt like holding it today. It's been a really good day. By the time this uploads, it will be the solstice. Happy winter solstice to everybody. It's gonna be really good energy. It's all about new beginnings. It's gonna be a full moon at the same time that it's the solstice and Christmas. So whatever holiday you do or do not celebrate, at least we can all agree that, you know, we are in midwinter, quite literally. And I love solstice. It's a really amazing time of year. I always feel like there's a lot of energy on or around winter solstice. Okay, so let's talk about Krampus. Okay, where did this originate? Like the legend, the history of Krampus? Well, it's one of those things, it's like the story legends that have been taken back in time, right? Like they think that they've found origins for like the 1600s related to like either Austria or Germany. It was definitely between those two countries, right? Which, by the way, to this date, Austria and Munich, Germany, but Germany in general, celebrate Krampus more than any other countries throughout the world. There was recently, like, I think it was 2015, they started this like annual Krampus run that happens in Los Angeles. I'm really disappointed that I like didn't pay attention and put it on the calendar this year, because I probably would have gone just to like get some B-roll footage and like see what it was about. I did find some footage of the Krampus festival, Krampus run from Los Angeles. Honestly, those are not nearly as good as the Krampus festivals and Krampus runs that occur in Austria or in Germany. So if you ever get the chance to go to Austria or Germany and witness the Krampus run or any of the Krampus festivals, I am so jelly. Someday, that is a goal, someday. So we can agree that predominantly Krampus is huge in Eastern Europe, right? Which is where they celebrate him versus Saint Nick. And it's kind of a way of scaring the children into being good, which I don't know, seems like not a bad idea. Basically, parents will say, okay, if you're bad, you know, Krampus is gonna come, and you're not only gonna you're not gonna get any presents, but you're also gonna get abducted, kidnapped from this really scary, like, demonic thing that comes up from the underworld. And literally, kids understand from like a very, very young age that Krampus is a real thing that they believe in their culture. And he usually carries some sort of knapsack / cage on his back. And that is when he picks up the naughty children. So there's different versions of Krampus, like I'm sure any legend that we know, right? Some legends of Krampus say things like he actually travels with Saint Nick. Some legends say that he will visit the bad children and take them before Christmas, sometimes even as early as like December 3rd, December 4th, which is like Krampus Day, depending on which country you're looking at. And most of the time, December 3rd, December 4th is when the Krampus run / Krampus festivals actually take place worldwide. And that includes the one that was in Los Angeles. So I can promise you guys next year, whether Kat, Chanel, and Brittany are with me or not, I am definitely going to make a trip to the Los Angeles Krampus run and festival, just because, like, what does one do at a Krampus festival? I mean, we know what the festivals in Munich, Germany look like. Footage from the Krampus run in like Austria or Germany can actually get kind of violent. A lot of the Krampuses will walk around with whips in hand, and sometimes they'll slap people. They'll have switches, which are like sticks in their hand, and they'll whip people. It's interesting to me though, because if you really pay attention to some of the like detail in these videos of like even the current year Krampus run, you will see like children are dressed up as Krampus, which I find oddly interesting. So like you'll find little kids, like even babies, sometimes they can't talk, will be in these weird little Krampus like miniature costumes, and like the parents have them hoisted on their back. And then you'll see like 7, 10, 12-year-olds dressed like a mini Krampus, and they're like in the run too, and like running along with all the Krampuses. So it's just a very different like ideology culture than here in America, where in America we believe in, you know, Saint Nick / Santa Claus. And if you're bad, Santa still comes, but he leaves you a lump of coal. My cousin Lori, who is like a second cousin, had said that one of her kids was bad one year, and Krampus, I'm sorry, not Krampus, and Santa left him coal, which I thought was like so sad. I just feel like no kid, especially little kids, especially little boys, like aren't little boys known for being like little buttheads sometimes? Like, yeah, I don't think she should have had Krampus. I don't think she should have had Santa leave him coal. I thought that was kind of unkind. But then again, it's not my child, that's all I'm saying. What works better? Fear of jolly Saint Nick, who is oddly creepy in his own, who is a giant man somehow sliding down a skinny chimney, who comes in to eat all of your cookies and milk, and either way, either leaves you a lump of coal or leaves you a bunch of presents. It's all the magic of Christmas. I remember being a child and being deathly afraid of Santa, like for years. Like the thought of a man coming in my house just scared me as a kid. It was just like weird, you know what I mean? Like, but I went with it, you know. But I remember being in bed on Christmas Eve as like a 7-year-old, like a 10-year-old, and literally like sweating from stress, thinking like a stranger was gonna come in my house. Like I was always so freaked out. Honestly, didn't probably know I was an empath back then, seriously. So I just remember stressing about it all night. I think I would stress so bad till I would just finally black out and pass out, and then it was Christmas morning. So does Saint Nick work better, or does Krampus work better, who is this creepy demon figure that basically says, you better be good or Krampus is gonna come take you? a little bit more extreme, I'd say, than one or the other. But I don't know. What's your opinion? I'd like to hear it before. Do you think Krampus works better than Saint Nick, or do you think jolly old Saint Nick is the way to go? Krampus, half man, half goat demon. He has horns. He's been around since pagan times, which is pre-Christianity, right? And this is where, like, the Krampus parade has become such a big thing worldwide today. Still today. In fact, they're saying, like, because of the culture of, like, paranormal and, like, cryptozoology, Krampus is bigger than he ever has been before. Just the theme of him, just the legend of Krampus. So they're saying worldwide, Krampus festivals, Krampus runs, just Krampus stories in general are becoming like a household thing, where it used to be used for like a strict sort of fear for children. So I just find that interesting. It's kind of like, I'm telling you guys, there is footage somewhere out there where we're at Universal Studios, October of this year, 2018, and Krampus is walking towards me trying to scare me. And I'm with Chanel and Brittany and Kat, and I'm like, oh, Krampus. I'm like gonna give Krampus a hug. Krampus freaked out, thought I was a weirdo, and like dodged me. It like dodged, like weaved in and out of the group, and like was like, no, that girl's definitely weird. And I'm sitting here like, you have no idea. Much like Santa, Krampus also has elves. They call them little army elves, and they roam the mountains, causing and creating mayhem as and before the children are abducted, which I find really interesting. So there was a point in time parents actually believed in the legend of Krampus as well. Parents believed that Krampus was a supernatural figure, and parents were concerned if their children were not good, obviously like misbehaving, being disobedient, that Krampus would still come no matter what. So there was a frenzy when Krampus's legend like kind of first became developed, where parents were actually in fear that this supernatural creature would actually show up in the middle of the night to abduct their children. There is claims that whenever Santa Claus started becoming involved with, you know, Christianity beliefs, that maybe they were hoping that the legend of Krampus would sort of die and disappear, because it's awfully frightening, right? It's quite scary to think of a demon coming up from the underworld to steal your children. But unfortunately, the pagan myth did not disappear. It's still very much worldwide to this day. Now, I am educated on pagan, you know, the pagan religion, pagan culture. Chanel identifies as pagan. My question is to any pagans that are watching, do you believe in Krampus currently, or is this considered just one of those legends or stories that you kind of pass around like at the campfire? Just out of curiosity, I'm just purely curious. People have explained Krampus and Santa as good cop, bad cop. I'd say that's like an extreme though, right? Like, I mean, Santa's all good and jolly, but you're talking about a demon from the underworld here. Is that just considered a bad cop? And people have also said, you know, could Krampus be portrayed as kind of a glorious anti-hero, somewhat like the gods and goddesses that people celebrate or you know, sort of believe in. And I know that this could sort of get into like darker black magic stuff, because, you know, most pagans or Wiccan beliefs don't like the dark stuff, or like the gray witch, dark witch stuff that I've talked about in the past. So my question is it just a legend to you guys? Where does it fall as far as being myth versus being beliefs? I don't know, I'm just curious. Krampus parades involve whips, horns, torches, demonic masks, full-bodied costumes. Sometimes Krampuses are even doing flips in the streets that you'll notice. They are whipping people, they're slapping people on the bum. And apparently there's a lot of claims that like the ones, the festivals, the Krampus festivals that are in Munich, Germany and Austria are what we as Americans would compare to like Mardi Gras in Louisiana. So I was like, wow, that's crazy. So like it is literally like a festival. There were some guys that used to be my fans that lived in Germany that had talked to me before about how big the parades really were. I'd love to hear from you guys if you're still in Germany, just because I'm fascinated by it, to be honest. So Krampus parade, there's tons. I have a list, literally, I just wanted to have some. There's a Krampus parade that takes place in Indiana on December 1st of this year. Most of them are already passed. There's a Krampus crawl, K-R-A-W-L, December 8th in North Carolina. There's a Krampus Fest in Chicago, which is a costume party, December 8th. That was probably kind of cool. There's a Krampus Society that throws a Krampus Night Walk on December 1st in Dallas, Texas. In Detroit, there's a Krampus Night, December 7th. Alberta, Canada actually throws a Krampus sort of themed festival. Los Angeles is December 13th. It's the Krampus Run and After Party. Next year, you're going to find me there for sure. Portland, Oregon has a Krampus party December 2nd. Philadelphia celebrates Krampus on December 15th. San Francisco, this is funny. San Francisco has a 5K and 10K Krampus Run and Brew Fest that takes place December 9th. And Toronto, Canada, Krampus Ball Costume Party is December 7th. Washington, D.C. celebrates Krampus on December 21st. So that's the only one that we haven't missed. So anybody that's near D.C. that can make it on like Saturday to go see Krampus, let me know how it goes. So as we close out this chat with you guys, thank you guys so much for being here. Hopefully you guys love Krampus as much as we do. The whole team is fascinated by legends and myths like this. Please make sure you leave comments below. We would love to hear your feedback. Please make sure you give us a thumbs up to make sure that our channel keeps staying boosted, or a thumbs down if that's what you want. And also make sure you subscribe to our channel. Follow all of us on social media, which is in the context text box below. And tomorrow we'll be chatting about paranormal pop culture, and I'm going to chat briefly about Sabrina, the Teenage Witch that has premiered on Netflix, which I find amazing. And also tomorrow we will be live with Kat at 1 p.m. PST. So we will catch you guys then. Make sure you tune in. Thank you so much for being here. We'll catch you guys next time.